young, rich guy. Young, rich guy. Yeah. Ooh. Hey, turn the mic up a little bit. Yeah, right there. Ooh. 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 Back to the trap, back to the block, back to the rollie, back to the rock, back to the money, back to the spot, back to the AP, back to the watch, back to the foreign, back to the drop, back to the stops, back to the safe, back to the lot, back to the money, back to the bands, back to the drummer, back to the bands, back to the stands, back to the fans, back to the tan, back to the land, tie my hair up like I'm an Indian. Back to the trap, back to the pot, back to the hot, back to the hops, back to the money, back to the cash, back to the party, back to the bags, back to the stack, back to the rag, back to the tracks, rip out the tracks, back to the meat, back to the greet, back to the tweet, back to the gang, back to the fleet, back to the sheets, back to these hoes, back to my foes, back to the Glock, making heads roll. Back to the trap, back to the block, back to the rollie, back to the rock, back to the money, back to the spot. Back to the AP, back to the watch, back to the foreigns, back to the drops, back to the stops, back to the safe, back to the lot, back to the money, back to the bands, back to the stands, back to the drummer, back to the bands, back to the stands, back to the fans, back to the tan, back to the land, tie my hair like I'm an Indian. Yeah, hey, what? Ooh, what? Ooh, what? Look, back to the dread, back to the lock. Back to the stop, back to the jug, back to finesse, back to the hook. Now these hoes shook. Back to the fans, back to my enemies, back to the remedy, back to the energy, back to the synergy, back to the money, long like a centipede. They pray, it is the end of me. There ain't no end of me. You ain't no friend to me. Nah, you is my enemy. Boom. Yeah, you is a real enemy. Boom. A+ boy. Yeah. So why is you testing me? Huh? You was a rookie. Yeah. And I am a veteran. Letters on the wall. I'm inside of the pentagram. I'm a new pedigree. Back to the creed. Back to the D. Back to the top. Look. Back to the steed. Back to the lead. What? Cash what I need. What? Cash what I want. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Keep all that shit, nigga.